So welcome back to Baby Mine. And there's a really great way to be able to alter behavior by giving a lot of positive reinforcement. And I think a lot of times with kids, one of the first reactions that parents make is that they want to, follow the kid around and tell them everything that they don't want. So they, if the kid is climbing up on and trying to grab a cookie from the cookie jar, and you'll be like, don't climb on the counter. Or if they're trying to take a cookie out of the jar, don't take the cookie out of the jar. Or they're running, stop running. And what happens is that most of the interactions that end up happening are very negative. And what we want is positive, and we want the interactions to be very positively reinforced, and also a lot of loving communication, which is, I know this is how all of us feel, is just getting into the rhythm of that when you're teaching your children. Having all these interactions where you're saying all of the things that you don't want, but what kids really want is to have you show them what you do want. And a way to do that is by reinforcing your communication and your attention, with things that you love that they do. So say, little Billy is playing with one of, his action cars, and he's, being very gentle with the cars, and he's not, throwing it across the wall or anything. Usually in those situations, parents, when their child is doing something right, they're like, okay, we don't have to worry about it. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. But that is the perfect opportunity to positively reinforce your baby. So if they're playing with their toys, with their little action cars, and they're being gentle with the cars, then you go up and you sit with them and look them in the eyes and be like, thank you, Greg. I love the way that you're playing with your toys. You're being so gentle with the cars. That's really amazing. And then you keep going with your day. And that way, you're communicating, and showing, your child what to do by telling them what to do and not what not to do. So next time, your child will remember, oh, when I play very nicely with the cars, then, mommy and daddy, they like that. They thank me, so I'm going to do it more. Instead of not saying anything when everything is really, when they're playing with the cars, very nicely, and then you wait until they start like throwing it against the wall, and then that's when you say, hey, stop throwing the cars. But what would work better is if you notice the times where they are playing very, very appropriately, and then you tell them, hey, you sit with them, and you maybe even play with them for 30 seconds or a minute, and just say, like, I love the way that you're playing, great job. And you get you get a lot better results by doing that, just because the interaction is just so much lighter and freer, and it really creates a very great foundation for you and your family. And also, again, it's showing them what to do instead of what not to do. So another example would be if you want your child to, if they're cleaning their room, and you don't wait until it gets completely messy to say, oh my gosh, this room is such a mess, you never clean, and go in that direction. You say you see your child and they picked up a toy and you put it away, then that's a perfect example for a positive reinforcement moment to say thank you. Thank you for picking up that toy and putting it away. That's really helpful. Thank you for that. And then you feel good, and then they feel good, and then everybody just is feeling great and building a system. So those are just a couple examples. I have more as well. And these are just a couple tricks and of what you can do to, like I say, alter behavior and pick out the moments that you really love and go off that and build off that. Thank you for watching.